We're heading back to the supermarkets, this time Sainsbury's with their IPA Songbird. Well, it's not theirs, it's North Brewery. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing Songbird. It's an IPA, 6% from the North Brewing Company. Available now in Sainsbury's, £3.50. And this is I'll say what it tells you what it says. It's a rich, smooth IPA with flavours of sweet, juicy blueberry alongside sharp, fresh cut pineapple. And the hops are Citra and Mosaic, that double act that when I started drinking craft beer, it seemed like every other beer that I drank had Citra and Mosaic in them. Sometimes you would have Simcoe just to sort of make it a bit exciting, but now we've got so many different hops, it's difficult to keep track of them all. Citra and Mosaic in a 6% IPA from North Brewing. It's sort of, you expect this to be a solid IPA, but let's crack it open, get it in the glass and see what it's all about. I mean, North have got a good pedigree in supermarkets. I still think their best one that they had was the one that was available in Tesco a couple of years ago. I don't think it was last year, when that was the Green Curve and that was a collaboration. That was a very good beer. But they've got Modular, which was in Morrison's. It was a good beer. Transmission, Lost Cosmonauts is another one. And so this one, well, I mean, in a glass, it looks pretty good. Quite thick looking, orange, golden orange, really. It's got that sort of creamy, sort of almost custardy sort of colour to it. Very thick and hazy. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We've literally got a finger of white, very, not going to be hanging around that long head, but I think that looks pretty good in a glass. Let's see what the aroma's like. It's that classic Citra Mosaic aroma. Lots of citrus fruits, lemons and orange and lime and grapefruit. Yeah, I mean, I'd almost say that the Citra is the big sort of aroma here. I'm getting slight waves of sort of mango in there as well. I wouldn't say I'm really getting that blueberry that you get with the Mosaic, that bubblegum sort of aroma. It smells quite bright, quite fresh, quite citrusy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. That is a very solid IPA. Flavour similar to the aroma, lots of different citrus fruits with oranges and lemons and grapefruits all sort of coming in. I know that the can said about pineapple, but I'm not really picking up much pineapple. There's a nice little bite. It's very low bitterness. They're not even that sort of sharp, zesty bitterness from grapefruit. Grapefruit's in the mix, but it's not big in the mix. It doesn't sort of, the beer sort of doesn't really develop its flavours. The first hit of that juice you get, and then that sort of really sort of remains throughout the whole flavour sort of profile, really. Yeah, all citrus, lemons especially, limes, grapefruit. A little bit of orange in there and a little bit of mango. That's the flavour. In terms of the body, it's quite light, but it's got a smooth body as well. It's got low levels of carbonation. It's just about right at that 6% point. You can tell it's an IPA. You can tell it's got a bit more body than a pale ale. But I've had IPAs with a more creamier sort of body, but this isn't bad. And at the end of the day, it's a supermarket beer. It's not that exciting, but then it's difficult always to see a supermarket beer that is really exciting. We want to keep buying stuff, buying more of it. The thing is with supermarket beers, you want to just find one that you think, yeah, that's pretty good. I like the flavour. I can have a few of those because they're a bit cheaper than obviously bottle shops. And obviously they're easy to get hold of. I mean, the biggest problem I find with the beers that the bottle shop type of beers I buy is I don't really have a local bottle shop that has the sort of beers that I want to drink all the time. I have the occasional one, but not many. And so I have to buy online, and then I resent paying, you know, seven or 8 quid for postage. So I have to buy to a certain level to get that sort of to get a free postage. But then by that time you're spending 70 quid plus. And sometimes you think, oh, I only want to spend 10-20 quid at a time on some of these beers, and that's when you go to the supermarkets and you can do that quite easily. And this, I think, is a very good staple. This is the sort of beer that I would say is 6%. It's not low ABV, but it's not that 7% plus sort of thing. It's easy to drink. £3.50. I mean, yeah, if it was 3 quid, I'd give it. I'd give it much more of a recommendation. £3.50. We are creeping into the sort of prices you can pay in bottle shops. It's a very good beer. North make good beers. I've never had a really stunningly great beer from North. Even the stuff that I've bought from bottle shops from North, it's always been consistently good. They're a good brewery. For me, they're almost like they're in the shadow. I mean, obviously they're based up in Yorkshire. They're in the shadow of Northern Monk. They make good, consistent supermarket beers. Outside, the beers that they make aren't that much different. They maybe are slightly better than the ones in the supermarket, but there's not a huge jump, I don't think. I've never had a North Brewing Co beer that's just like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. Whereas Northern Monk make very good supermarket beers, but some of the stuff outside is definitely a big step up into that sort of really great territory. But North, you know, I don't know, do they play it safe? Maybe they do, but you know, at the end of the day, sometimes having a consistent quality of beer across different ranges is probably more important than have one really good one and then lots of really bad ones, you know, because if you have a couple of the bad ones, it can put you off the brewery. But I always know what I'm getting with North, and I think they're a very solid brewery. And actually, when it comes down to it, this is a good beer. If your supermarket is Sainsbury's, this is a very good beer to buy. 6%. As I say, £3.50, not the cheapest, but then most craft beers now are that, unless you're buying the crappy Brewdog sort of stuff. But I think this is a good quality beer. Maybe this will, I mean, if this was in Tesco's, you'd probably get it coming in like a packs of 4, for example, and you could be paying 8 quid for it. That would be great value. But, you know, at the moment, this is a good beer, not a great beer, but solid, very, very solid for a supermarket beer. Yeah, I like it. And it's nice to see Citra Mosaic back, because I've got to admit, you don't see just Citra Mosaic as much these days, just on their own. So it's nice. This is the real flavour for me of craft beer. You know, if you've never had craft beer before, this is the flavour. This is the introductory flavour. That Citra, the Mosaic, just giving a little bit more of an edge, a little bit more of a sort of dankness, a little bit different flavours than you're not expecting, along with those sort of very citrusy sort of flavours as well. But it's a really good beer. The body's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty much up there with the Salt collaboration one. The, you know, what's it called? I Challenge You to Hop Off. It's up there with that. In fact, this one's a little bit more smashable because it's lower ABV, and it's probably, you know, a little bit better for people that maybe not have a lot of experience with craft beer. But it's a really solid beer. So, Songbird, yeah, gets my thumbs up. We'll have the scores coming up after this. But, yeah, if you see this in the supermarket, definitely give it a go. If you've had it, let me know what you think in the comments. But I think it's a pretty solid beer. You know, for me, with the new supermarket ones that we've had, this one, the Challenge You to Hop Off, and I'd probably also put in there the Morrison's IPA, the Polly's IPA from Morrison's. I think that's another, you know, good beer. I've had a couple of them since I bought it, because I bought more than one, thinking it would be really good. And although my review probably didn't come across as I was overly excited, it was at the high end of the 70s in terms of scoring, and I'd probably put that up there with these three. They're the ones to go for, in my opinion. But then again, that's my personal taste. Your taste may differ. But that's my review today of Songbird. As I say, scores coming up in a minute. And until then, you know what you're going to do. Keep on rocking. Okay, the scores are in for Songbird. This is an IPA with Citra Mosaic from the North Brewing Company. Available at Sainsbury's, £3.50. But let's get those scores. Aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money. My overall experience. And that gives, yeah, I definitely would recommend this, a score of